How's it going, guys? Panther Films here, and today we're going to be reacting to Season 1, Episode 7, the penultimate episode of The Acolyte. This episode is titled Choice. Now, last episode was a bit of a slow one, where, we just kind of focused on Osha hanging about with Chimera, They were just chilling, talking about things, talking about the dark side of the Force, and all that nonsense. And then you had Sol and May, who's pretending to be Osha, basically dealing with the aftermath of what just happened in Episode 5, right, with all the Jedi dying. So Sol's going through it, and Basil, because obviously he knows May's scent, is trying to basically tell Sol what's going on. Now, part of me does think Sol knew straight away, but maybe he didn't. I feel like he would have sensed it. He sensed things, like he sensed other Jedi die, or something happened to other Jedi far away. He sensed that, or he sensed that Osha was nearby, but he can't sense that May's there. Unless it's something to do with what just happened, like he's grieving and he's getting over, like, Jackie dying and stuff like that, so maybe it blinded him a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, that was basically the whole episode. Obviously, Sol figured out it was May, stunned her, and then he basically said to her, I'm going to tell you what happened all them years ago, and here we are, I guess. And also, Osha put on Chimera's helmet, and that's how the episode ended. We also saw Chimera shirtless, and I'm pretty sure the planet that Chimera and Osha are on might be Acto. I don't think so, though. There's been a lot of debate about that. But yeah, I thought last episode was just pretty slow. It didn't really push the story forward. Like, we got to spend some time with the characters, but I feel like it's a little bit too late for that. You know what I mean? Like, we got 2 episodes, and we've still got a lot to learn about what happened 16 years ago, even though I feel like they might waste this episode on it. I don't know. I mean, that basically sums it all up. So let's stop dawdling around with this shitty intro and get right into the fucking episode.
Won't let it happen.
See, they keep don't show this because this just proves that May can't be redeemed.
Have you told me everything that happened on Brentalk?
Based on this previously, I'm going to assume this episode is fully about what happened, which means we got to spend the whole episode seeing it, I assume, from Sol's perspective. Brentalk. Yeah. We are doing a full-on flashback episode again. Fuck? Has she got a metal detector? Legitimately, they've just got a metal detector. What? There he is, Tommen. Fucking Lannister. Or Tommen Baratheon, whatever he was fucking called in Game of Thrones.
And I want to go home to Coruscant. We've been here for 7 weeks.
100 years ago, this planet was catalogued as lifeless. Because of a hyperspace disaster.
Because of a hyperspace disaster? What the fuck does that mean?
Do not center around your anxieties.
We are looking for a Bajans.
A concentration of force energy.
It's a power. It should be studied. This is a noble mission.
My Padawan is too distracted to appreciate the significance of emergence.
I mean, he's a teenager. From the looks of it.
He was disturbed. Unbalanced.
Do not confuse Torben's feelings with your own.
You can't have Carrie-Anne Moss, and not make a show up for at least one more episode, right? Here it is.
We'll split up then. So, follow the river?
This is where Sol sees May and Osha, right? Endor. Oh, the butterfly thing, or whatever it is. Right?
Let it go, May. Stop. Why do you always have to do things like that?
Because she's an evil shit.
We are not alone. Indara, can you read me?
I just feel like pacing-wise, seeing the same shit from a different perspective is just weird, and spending a whole episode on it, again, in the penultimate episode of the show, like there's only one more episode after this, it's just weird. Well, we know he doesn't try and get in now, right? Obi-Wan could do that. Obi-Wan climbed up the fucking Utapau, like fucking mountain thing, right? I mean, it's interesting to see, like, he was there during that scene. You know, if they actually planned this out, it would be cool if you actually could see him in the background of certain shots from episode 3. Oh, that makes sense. That's probably, yeah, that's what they heard. What the fuck is that?
I think they're witches.
Night sisters.
I fear for the girl's safety.
Come with me. See what I have seen.
As if they wouldn't have, like, guards posted outside, but I guess that would make it obvious, right?
It's too risky to go in as a group.
It's also too risky to go in alone. The fuck? Safety in numbers. I swear to God, if we have to hear them doing the chant shit again. Okay, no.
These women are under my protection.
You're trespassing.
The all-knowing Jedi were ignorant of their surroundings.
Yeah, what did he see?
Jedi Padawan,
What the fuck?
son of paupers from the planet Bonadon. You've traveled so far only to become trapped on this planet. You wish to return to Coruscant.
I thought his eyes turned black.
I would always let you have what you need.
Is that why you're getting inside his head? Manipulating him?
Ask me.
No. He's literally crying.
I want to return to Coruscant.
Kneel.
Was that why he fell to the ground? Oh no. It was happening way beforehand. What the fuck?
I want to show them what you taught me. Please let me take the test.
What did he see during that though? When he was kneeling?
I feel a connection to Osha.
But not me.
Osha's too old to join the order.
Oh, people were shitting on the show for that. Like saying like they wouldn't bring in a youngling that old, right? Because they wouldn't let Anakin in.
Then who is protecting this child if not the Jedi?
Do not confuse what Osha wants with what you want.
I mean, she does want to leave. Like, that much is clear. Like, from what we saw in her perspective.
I'm not gonna hurt you. I just need to take a sample.
It won't hurt.
What do you want me to do? A spaceship, a castle, a planet,
No, that's a gonk, dude. What the fuck?
What was everyone doing in the courtyard?
ascension.
Is your marking a part of Ascension?
Ascension means Osha and I will lead the coven. Everyone must be sacrificed to fulfill their destiny.
May was instructed to fail. I would like to try a different approach with the other child.
At least they're showing, like, most of the time new scenes, but still, like, this is the penultimate episode.
I'll wait here until Coruscant makes contact with us.
I mean, how long's that going to take? The council won't let her come on, though, as a Jedi, because she's too old, right? I mean, they literally just said that.
Something is wrong.
The council said no.
Well, yeah.
Will they let us come home at least?
No.
What?
Do not alter this little girl's destiny because you have formed an emotional attachment to her.
That is not what's happening here. I want to do what's best for Osha.
It's the twins' blood test results.
The midichlorians are off the scale.
The M count is very high.
Yep.
Even identical twins would have different symbionts.
The fuck is symbionts?
One consciousness into two bodies?
Only a virgin could create that type of...
Ah, good side, dark side, right? Or light side, dark side.
Take a walk with Mother Coral. Now!
What's
You want to stop Osha from leaving? Then stop her.
What?
Get mad.
Get mad.
You may be their mother, but you are also our leader.
Right now, I choose Mother.
No one can get in or out.
Witches, arm yourselves.
So it's her fault.
We're stuck here now.
The biggest question is now, how the fuck do all the witches die?
Let me out. I won't let it happen. May, please!
You're literally gonna kill her. Like, sure, Mother Quarrel kind of got her mad and stuff, but them dark tendencies were in her from the get-go, right?
The Jedi have breached the fortress again.
I would die before I let the Jedi take my children.
Yeah, but you don't have to die stupidly. Wait, she tried to stop it? Oh, was she literally just gonna burn the book? Still doesn't make sense how that would burn, though. It's stone. I guess there might have been, like, fuel coming out of the door or something, maybe? Why is Salt walking like that?
Take another step and it will be your last.
They took another step.
You wish to know if we will allow Osha to join you.
Where did they come from?
Be dang. Pop the bow down.
Someday those noble intentions you all have will destroy every Jedi in the galaxy.
She ain't voting.
Help me!
What the fuck? Thanos?
I was going to let Osha go. It's what she wants.
So what the fuck was that? Why do you turn it? What was that? Why'd she do that? And also, Quarrel just let that happen? All the girls with the crossbows or bows just let that happen? And now this is what turns me fucking evil. It's so stupid, dude. Now they... whatever. Torben's not bad.
Fight me!
No. Just cut the thing in half. Now the question is, what the fuck caused that explosion? Was it literally just the fire that May caused? How did that all happen? What? Oh, and now she's...
You should not have brought him here.
No. My mind is fortified.
Oh, fuck. Hey, we finally get to see him with a lightsaber though. That's some good shit. But they're not showing it. Why'd they cut away? There we go. Now, fuck off. No. This doesn't make any sense. At this point, Osha and May were on the balcony. Like, obviously, the time difference is a bit wrong compared to episode 3. Jesus. It's like Grievous. He could have just killed him there. Oh, that's how he gets the scar. The choreography there is a little dog shit. And I think it's because of the costume, right? He's moving slower because of that. There you go, now Wookiee gets fast. Yeah, definitely a Wookiee. What the fuck? Black Widow? What? Wait, that's how they died? Them witches are kind of dog shit. What the fuck? Also, this would have already happened, technically. Not enough time passed on... More time passed on the Jedi side than Osha and May's side. He can't hold both of them, so he lets one go. But the question is, how did May survive? I don't really blame him there. Like, he wasn't strong enough to hold both of them up, so he only had to save one of them. But lying about that, I don't know.
I warned both of you.
I wanted the twins to be safe.
Master! Master!
Who would win in a fight here? Sol or her? Probably her. Well, actually, no, probably not, because she died and Sol's still alive.
We will tell the council the truth. May burned down the witch's fortress, and everyone was lost.
I must face the council.
Why would you do that to her? Ask yourself why you made this choice.
What happened?
May. A part of me is just kind of underwhelmed here.
They started a fire.
Okay, the Jedi lied, but the fire is kind of what caused everything to go mental, right? The fuck is this music? Well, we finally got our questions answered, but there's still a lot that doesn't make sense. Mainly like the fire and how May survived. Like they're the two big loose ends that haven't been tied up. But also just like, what was the mother's plan? Like, yeah, I'm going to turn into this fucking smoke monster from Lost. But I was going to let Osha go? Like, that's just bad writing. Like, you just needed the Jedi... You needed to give the Jedi a reason to stab the mother. And that was it. Like, that was the only reason. But then she just did a complete 180 on what she was about to do. Like, oh, I'm going to turn into a massive shadow. And be spooky and scary. But then, turns out I'm only being friendly. Like, what? And also, all the witches, like, the way they all died, really, it was because Indaba, like, got into Kalnaka's head, right? And that was it. Like, she managed to pull him out of his own mind, and then that killed all the witches. Really? That's such an underwhelming conclusion to that. Like, that's really what happened. And, like, all this mystery about, like, oh, what did Saul do? He didn't really do anything, to be honest. In my opinion, I genuinely don't think Saul did anything bad. Like, Saul sees the mother about to turn into a fucking giant smoke monster. What would your, like, first thought be? Like, obviously you're gonna fucking stab it, because, like, I ain't dealing with that. Like, I'm not against Saul there, and obviously he regretted it after what she said, but it just doesn't, like, writing-wise, it's just stupid. Why make her turn into the smoke monster if you were gonna... if she wasn't gonna hurt the Jedi in the first place? Like, it's just stupid. And I also just feel like, for a penultimate episode, why the fuck are we getting a flashback? You know? I mean, I said episode 3, pacing-wise, was bad. Because it's like, we have the first 2 episodes, and then we spend a whole episode on a flashback. And then we have this episode on the same flashback, basically, but we just see glimpses of the other perspective, right? I honestly would have preferred if we saw Saul this episode explaining the story to May, and then we kept cutting back and forth to the flashback, and then have other stuff happen in the episode too. Because next episode, you need to find Kymir, you need to find Osha, and then beat Kymir, find out who Kymir's master is, because he's obviously not alone, right? There's so much that needs to happen in one episode, and you've wasted 2 in this season. Like, I honestly think this show should have been 10 episodes, to be honest. Like, I think 10 episodes would have worked much better. And I also just don't feel like everything that was revealed this episode had a lot of impact anyway. Because the show does this weird thing where it doesn't linger on scenes for too long. You know, it's all over the place. And that is mainly down to how the episodes are paced and how long the episodes are. Like, this episode was 30-ish minutes. This shouldn't be the penultimate episode. This should be like episode 6 or something. Because it's like, we waited a week to see the continuation of the story, but yet we spend a whole episode on the same flashback we've already seen. Like, sure, we learn, like, what actually happened. Because, like, there was obviously some mysteries there on, like, what happened in episode 3, but I don't know, just spending another episode on the same flashback, just showing us the same scenes just from another perspective, which is exactly what I thought they'd do. Like, we really wasted another episode on the same 16-year flashback. Does it really matter in the grand scheme of things about, like, what happened? Like, that's not the main priority right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, the main problem is fucking Kymir, right? Like, let's sort that out, and we'll talk about the past later. It doesn't matter about the past, it matters about the fucking present right now. Like, who cares about what happened 16 years ago? I just genuinely think, like, the mystery of, like, what happened there and what the Jedi did was going to be bigger. but it was extremely underwhelming. Like, I'm underwhelmed and just, like, I guess the word would be bewildered at the decision to make this the penultimate episode, like I've said numerous times. I just don't get what the mother's plan was. And then when the mother's stabbed, and then Mother, what is it, Quarrel, right? Didn't attack the Jedi immediately, even though she was willing to fight them from the get-go. But then as soon as her lover is killed, she's just standing there, like, confused about what happened. The love of your life just got stabbed. Are you not going to try and do something about that? But instead you just stand there like, what just happened? Like, what the fuck? Like, it makes no sense for her character to do that because she was so against the Jedi. Like, she was willing to fight the Jedi immediately. They didn't really go into any more detail about, like, the thread stuff or, like, how they were created initially. I kind of wish they did, to be honest. We got a little idea of, like, how it works. Like, it's one person in two minds, or two bodies, right? One mind in two bodies, or something like that. But one of them has a darker personality, and then one of them has a lighter personality, and then when they come together, they bring balance to the Force, right? Is that what we're going for? Funnily enough, they said it this episode, a lot of people were criticising the show for them bringing Osha into the Jedi Order, because she's too old to be accepted into it. But then Anakin wasn't allowed in, and he was around the same age as May, or Osha, right? In episode 1, and the Jedi Council didn't want him to become a Jedi. However, they addressed that this episode saying she's too old. The Council won't ever accept her. So I'm glad they kind of acknowledged that a little bit, because that criticism... That's people jumping the shark a little bit, because that criticism didn't make sense because we didn't have the full picture. Now we do have the full picture, and initially she wasn't allowed in, but obviously some loopholes, I guess, allowed it to happen. I mean, Anakin managed to get into the Order, right? The mother saying, like, the noble intentions the Jedi have will be, like... It will be responsible for destroying the Jedi and every Jedi in the galaxy, right? I like that kind of foreshadow there, if you'd watch it in chronological order, because obviously that's foreshadowing Revenge of the Sith. Like, hopeful intentions, which could relate to Anakin being the Chosen One, right? I mean, in the end, he was the Chosen One until fucking Disney fucked it with the sequel trilogy and brought Palpatine back, but whatever. I really don't understand how this story is going to get wrapped up in one episode. It's literally every fucking Disney Plus show in a nutshell. They have 8 episodes or 6 episodes, and then they waste episodes on stupid shit, or the run times aren't that long, so you don't get a lot out of the story that you'd hoped you'd get, right? And then when the story ends, you're just kind of underwhelmed because it felt rushed. And that's what it's going to feel like. I already know going into next episode it's going to be rushed as fuck. Unless, you know, next episode is like an hour long, but I'm not expecting that, because it's just every other Disney Plus show, from a Star Wars show to Marvel, has always been the same. A rushed finale. They can never nail their finales. There's maybe one finale that they've nailed out of all the shows that they've done, and that's Loki, I think. I also will say Season 2 of Mandalorian was a good ending, too. I can't really say the episode was bad. Like, it gave us some of the answers that we've wanted. Granted, a lot of it was kind of underwhelming, and a lot of it was like, really? That's what happened? It is what it is. I mean, it was cool to see Cal Naka fight. We finally got the Wookiee Jedi with a lightsaber in live action. However, the choreography in that fight was a little bit wonky, and I don't know if it was because of the costume for the Wookiee that was making him move slower in the lightsaber fight. Because it's like he was going for a swing, and then he just slowed down mid-swing, and then he sped up, and then he slowed down. It was weird, the way the movement was. But maybe that's just me. I might be nitpicking there. Like that, when it's noticeable just on, like, normal speed, then it's a problem. When you have to slow the episode down to actually find, like, nitpicky shit about it, like, who cares? Because, like, you won't notice that on first viewing, you know? But I, like, clearly noticed the slowdown with certain moves. It could just be because of how big Cal Naka is, but surely his weight should be applied to the lightsaber, right? The lightsaber should be lighter, which means he can swing it faster, right? Otherwise, he's going to be left open a lot because he swings slower. I mean, look at Vader, right? Vader usually just does one hand, but he can move extremely fast. And he's basically a robot at that point, you know? I also did like how Torben was, like, blocking all the fucking arrows and stuff. That was cool. Like, he was channeling some Hayden Christensen there. I don't understand why Torben took the vow of silence. Like, to me, that's what I'm questioning now. Like, none of it makes sense with the added backstory. Like, why did he take the vow of silence? Is it because, like, the witches were killed? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, were they in his mind when they died and that affected him somehow? Like, why did he go into this meditation for 16 years? It makes no sense. I guess, like, the guilt of all the witches dying, but that wasn't his fault. Maybe the guilt of lying about it. But why would he it just doesn't add up. Like, I feel like it would have been something more devastating than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, not just like, oh, we're hiding the truth. Even though it's not really hiding the truth, because technically, May causing the fire is kind of what destroyed the place. It didn't kill the witches, the Jedi did. Like, I genuinely just don't understand why Torben was meditating for that long. Because I don't think the Jedi did anything bad. Anastasia turned into this fucking smoke monster. Saul killed her because he thought she was going to do something ridiculous, right? And probably put all their lives in danger. So he killed her. And then, in order to stop Kalmaka from trying to kill the other Jedi, Indaba got inside his head and got the witches out of him. And then that ended up killing the witches. But then what happened to Quarrel? Because she just turned into smoke. Where did she go? Did she die too? I also find it weird how they just turn into smoke though. Like, what? Or shadowy. Is it I don't know. It's definitely more smoky than shadowy. I don't want to be, like, super critical of this episode. Like, I understand its importance, but I just feel like it shouldn't have been an episode 7, and I don't think it should have been the penultimate episode. Maybe if the show was 10 episodes, I feel like I'd be okay with the placement here. Then you'd have 3 more episodes to kind of, like, conclude the story and stuff. And, like, spend it on the present storyline rather than doing the penultimate episode. Oh, it's the same flashback. It's just weird to me, pacing-wise. But yeah, did I enjoy the episode? Not really. Like, I just feel like the whole reveal that they've been leading to was just very underwhelming. You know? And there's still a lot of, like, loose ends. Like, how did May survive? Right? Like, I feel like that's a big loose end to tie up there. How did she survive? Maybe she used the Force push before she hit the ground or something and saved herself, but I do find it interesting that Saul obviously, like, he tried to save both of them, but then prioritized Osha. Honestly, I don't blame him. He couldn't hold both of them up. He had to save one of them. I feel like, couldn't he have just lifted one of the kids up? If you can hold, like, a metal kind of walkway up, I feel like he should be able to lift a kid up with the Force. But maybe he's not that strong, I don't know. Very underwhelming reveal. And just wasting a whole episode. The penultimate episode on a flashback is just a weird decision to me. Because it's like, I know next week is going to be rushed, like I said. And it's going to piss me off, because the only reason it's rushed is because they spent 2 episodes on a flashback for no reason. And they could have just had longer episodes, and they could have just had 10 episodes in the season, would have given the story more breathing room. And actually made you care about the characters more, because then you probably could have killed off, like, Jecki and Yord around, like, episode 6, 7-ish. Right? But you'd have longer episodes to actually enjoy them as characters and stuff. I don't know. It's doable, because, like, there's, like, Game of Thrones, for instance, you know, you get used to these characters for, like, episodes, and then they're kind of taken away. I don't want to spoil, like, who gets taken away, but they get taken away. Right? But it's effective when they do get taken away, because you actually have time to care about them because of the episode lengths and stuff. And that applies to a lot of other shows. Like, just every single one of these Star Wars shows doesn't hit as much as it should, because you don't have enough time with the characters. Like, by the time you kind of get into the characters a little bit, the story ends. Like, the only one that can come close is the Obi-Wan and Anakin, like, shit. Or, like, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Because you have that history with that character. Like, all these shows need to do is just make me care about the characters. And the only one I really seem to care about is Saul. But I just, like, the writing around his character is a little iffy too, you know? Like, I like his character, and I kind of like Chimera too, but it's just the writing around the characters that's a bit iffy. Like, I want to get more invested into the other characters and stuff, you know? But it is what it is. That basically sums up my ranty review. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I will see you for the next one. Ta-ta and farewell.